Hey everyone, after a crazy last couple of weeks, we get to calm things down a bit now with a simple game. See, I say simple, but by the end of this, my family might say otherwise. Yes, my siblings, the co-creators of Animals in Time, will be joining me to play today's game. And trust me, you haven't seen anything like it. Now, I wanted to play a game that would represent the different cycles of nature that take place on Earth. Think about it. What do you need in order to live? Some of the most important things are air, water, and food. Fortunately, God gave us all three of those things here on Earth. Here's the problem though. Nothing lasts forever. Imagine you're eating a bag of delicious chips. No matter how big the bag is or how many times you try to stop yourself, eventually you're going to get to the bottom. Air, water, and food are the same way. But again, God made special ways to recycle these things for us to use. Imagine if we could recycle chips back into the bag though. Oh, here come my first contestants. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and take your chance with the natural cycles to win fantastic prizes. Step right up, don't be shy. Oh, well, hello, miss. What cycle would you like to try?
I'd like the water cycle, please.
The water cycle? Oh, certainly. The price is just 1 glass of water. Here we go. Thank you very much. Now, we'll just give it a big ol' spin and see what happens. While we're waiting, let me explain the water cycle very briefly. The water cycle is one of the most important on Earth because every living being needs water to survive. Humans drink about half a gallon of water a day, or at least they should. Remember to drink your water, people! But if 8-point-something billion people on Earth drink half a gallon of water a day, that equals a lot of water. And that's not even counting all the animals and plants. Plus, we don't just drink water. We use it to wash things like dishes, clothes, and even ourselves. All that water goes down the drain, into the pipes, and eventually into the ocean. Once it's in the ocean, the water goes through evaporation, which means it turns from a liquid into a gas. This gas, called water vapor, rises up into the sky and forms clouds. Then condensation happens, where water vapor in the clouds hardens into ice crystals and then melts into water droplets. Finally, there's precipitation. That's where these water droplets come together to form raindrops until they get heavy enough to fall down from the clouds, back down to Earth, into rivers, lakes, streams, and finally, the ocean again. Now, let's see. Well, the cycle is complete, and you win a glass of water! Yep, that's the great thing about these cycles. You get out exactly what you put in. Now, thank you very much for playing. Yes, thank you. Goodbye. No. Who else would like to play? Oh, good afternoon, sir. I'd like to play the carbon and oxygen cycle, please. Certainly. This will require just 1 breath of pure carbon dioxide. Yep. Thank you very much. Now, we'll just give it a big old spin and see how it goes. The carbon and oxygen cycle is a little different because it involves 2 different molecules. But it's still super important because, I'm a big fan of breathing. Humans take in about 2,000 gallons of air a day. And as you probably know, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Now, all living beings are made up of carbon and need it to survive, including plants. As I've explained before, plants breathe in carbon dioxide and use it to convert sun energy into sugar. As a result of this process, they breathe out oxygen. When we breathe in, the oxygen goes down our throat and into our lungs, where it gets transferred to red blood cells in our bloodstream. These red blood cells take the oxygen to our muscles, where it gets transformed into carbon dioxide and taken back up through our lungs, out our mouth, when we breathe out. Complicated? I know. But it's important because that carbon dioxide goes back into the plants to start the cycle all over again. Man, plants and animals working together again. Thank you for waiting, sir. Now, here is the result of the carbon and oxygen cycle.
But it's empty.
On the contrary, sir, this container is filled with pure carbon dioxide. You may now take it. Yes, thank you very much for playing. Goodbye. Oh, look, another contestant.
Yes, I'd like to play the nitrogen cycle, please.
Nitrogen, but of course. Play, it will require just one bacterium.
Oh.
I don't think bacteria are ever this big in real life, but whatever, we'll go with it. Perfect. Now, we shall begin. Now, because we need oxygen to breathe, you'd think that the air is made up mostly of oxygen, right? Wrong, actually. Most of the atmosphere is actually made up of another invisible gas called nitrogen. Oxygen only makes up a tiny part of the air we breathe. You may not have ever heard of nitrogen before, but it's super important. Every living being uses nitrogen, including in its DNA, its genetic code. Bacteria take in this nitrogen from the air and turn it into other forms they can use. Sometimes, though, lightning strikes and put nitrogen straight into the ground. Some bacteria actually grow on top of plant roots, so the plants get to use some of this nitrogen as well. Animals then eat these plants, and so the nitrogen gets transferred to them. When these plants and animals die, their bodies decompose in the ground, and other bacteria take the nitrogen out and put it back into the air. You might not be able to see bacteria with the naked eye, but they make so much happen here on Earth. Congratulations! You have won the nitrogen cycle. The bacteria use the nitrogen in the air to reproduce and multiply like crazy.
Oh, thank you so much!
But of course, thank you for playing the natural cycles with me. Come again soon. Complete, and you win a glass of water.
What?
Maybe don't do a voice. That's the great thing about these cycles. You get out exactly what you put in.
Oh, is that me?
I'd like to play the carbon and oxygen cycle, please.
Certainly. This will require.
But it's empty.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I think let's stop this.